Good afternoon, students. Today our topic is the language of chemistry. In the previous session, we have covered the maximum topic from this chapter. We have covered the definition of chemistry, matter, the classification of matter, and element about compound, radicals, their valencies. We have studied symbols of the elements. What are the significance of symbols? Basic radical about acidic radical, and we have studied the how to write the formula of the compounds and many more, and atomic weight concept. And today in this lesson we will just cover the remaining topic and the questions from your book, and the chapter will complete. Clear? So just let me get straight to the point, to the subject. That is, today our main topic is chemical equation. Today the topic is your chemical equation. We will study what is chemical equation and how to balance a chemical equation, and some problems, 2 or 3 problems from molecular weight. Clear? Because in the previous lesson I have completed how to calculate molecular weight, what is the percentage composition, how to calculate percentage composition. So the chapter will complete. Clear? Now, what is chemical equation? A chemical equation is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. It is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction using the symbols and formula of the substance involved in the reaction. The reaction involved those substances. We have to define them using formula and using symbolic representation, and that will be your chemical equation. Clear? So it is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Basically, it is the symbolic representation. It is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. It is the symbolic representation of chemical reaction using the symbols, and formula of the substance involved in the reaction. So what is chemical equation? It is the symbolic representation. We will represent a chemical equation by symbols of the substances that is involved in the reaction. Yeah. So for example, suppose your chemical reaction is it is represented by word equation. A chemical reaction or chemical equation is represented by first a word equation. It is, suppose carbon is burning in air, that is carbon plus oxygen. Carbon is burning in air means oxygen. Yeah. And it produces carbon dioxide. If you apply heat over here, it produces carbon dioxide. So this is your word equation. And if we want to write chemical equation means we have to represent this chemical reaction using symbols. Clear? And using symbols and using formula of the substance involved. That is your chemical equation. So what is your chemical equation? The chemical equation of this word equation will be, that is carbon means, we know carbon means C, it is represented by C, and oxygen, it is represented by O2, so arrow is heat, and carbon dioxide, it is represented as CO2. Clear? So this is your chemical equation. Clear? So we have studied the chemical equation. Now the topic is chemical reactions may involve. What chemical reactions may involve? Because chemical reactions are a very important part of the language of chemistry. So we will know chemical reaction, what may involve chemical reaction. Chemical reactions may involve substances and products. Chemical reactions may involve substances and products and some conditions. Whenever conditions is required, like giving heat or extracting heat or giving pressure or giving temperature, like that. Clear? So in chemical reactions there are two substances. One is called as reactants and another one is products. Now what are reactants and what are products? The reactants are the substances which taking part in chemical reaction. Clear? The reactants are those substances which takes part in a chemical reaction. Clear? And the products are the substances which are the result of chemical reaction or chemical equation. Products are the result. Products are just like the results of the chemical equation. Clear? And reactants are the substances that involved in the chemical equation. For example, just in the previous case, the previous equation was C plus O2, that is CO2. That means carbon and oxygen are participating. That is, carbon and oxygen are known as reactants, and the result is carbon dioxide. That is, this is your product. Clear? So therefore, here two reactants are involved and one product is formed. So these are reactants and products. Clear? Now chemical reactions may involve two reactants and one products. Clear? Chemical reactions or chemical equation may involve two reactants, one products, or one reactants, one product, or one reactants, two product, and so on. Clear? This is the case of two reactants and one products. Clear? Suppose a reaction is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. If you heat this compound, it will split into calcium oxide plus CO. Clear? Therefore, it is a one reactant giving two products. So this is a second case, one reactant, two products. Clear? Another case may be two reactants, two products. That is, suppose copper is treated with sulfuric acid. Copper is treated with sulfuric acid, giving copper sulfate plus 2H2O plus SO2. Clear? So here two reactants and three products. Two reactants and three products. Clear? So the chemical equations may involve one reactant and two products or more than two products. Two reactants, one product. Two reactants or more than two products. Clear? So these are the types of chemical equation. Clear? Now we will see two terms related to this chemical equation. One is your skeletal equation and one is your balanced equation. One is your skeleton equation and one is your balanced equation. Now what is skeleton equation and what is balanced equation? Skeleton equation means that is number of atoms in each element on the two sides are not equal. Number of atoms on each element on the two sides are not equal. That is, the atoms of the reactant molecules and atoms of the product molecules will not be same. Clear? So see, this is a chemical equation, C plus O2 CO2. Clear? So the left of this arrow, that is the left side of this arrow is termed as reactants and the right side of this arrow are termed as products. Clear? So the atoms here, carbon, the reactants of the atoms of the reactants are, that is one carbon and two oxygen. One carbon and two oxygen. Clear? And the products side atoms are one carbon and also two oxygen. That means the atoms of the reactant sides and the atoms of the product sides are same. Clear? Therefore this equation should not be termed as skeleton equation. A skeleton equation will have the atoms of both the reactant sides and atoms of both the product sides will not be same. The atoms will not be same. That equation will be known as skeleton equation. For example, like this equation, suppose potassium nitrate KNO3, if you apply heat potassium nitrate, it will split into KNO2 plus O2. Clear? So count the number of each atom on the reactant side, that is one potassium atom, one nitrogen atom and three oxygen atom. Clear? Three oxygen atom. Count one potassium atom, one nitrogen atom, one oxygen is two. Twos are four oxygen atoms. There are four oxygen atoms. Clear? So clearly the oxygen atom differs. Oxygen atom differs. That means it is a skeleton equation. So a skeleton equation is the number of atoms on the reactant side and the number of atoms on the product side is not equal. Clear? This is your skeleton equation. Now what is balanced equation? Balanced equation is just the reverse of Skeleton equation. That means number of atoms on the reactant side and the number of atoms on the product side will be equal. That is your balanced equation. Clear? That will be your balanced equation. For example, C plus O2, this was your balanced equation because carbon is 1, oxygen is 2. Clear? Here also carbon is 1, oxygen is 2. Therefore number of atoms on the reactant side and the number of atoms on the product side is equal. Therefore it is your balanced equation. Clear? So now we will see how a chemical equation is balanced. How chemical equation is balanced. Clear? This is a method. There are two methods for balance a chemical equation. Your Skeleton equation will be given in your exam, and you have to balance the Skeleton equation to give balanced equation. Clear? So there are two methods to balance any chemical equation or to balance any Skeleton equation. One is your heat and trial method, and the another one is partial equation method. One is your heat and trial method, and the another one is your partial equation method. Clear? So just I'll write a Skeleton equation and show you how a Skeleton equation is balanced. Clear? Suppose a Skeleton equation is given as copper plus H2SO4 arrow, copper sulfate CuSO4 plus SO2 plus H2. You have this is a Skeleton equation. This is a Skeleton equation. You have to balance the Skeleton equation to give balanced chemical equation. Clear? This type of question will be asked in your exam. This type of question is compulsory. Clear? This type of question will be asked in your exam. Now the first step will be your just count the number of atoms on all the sides. The first step will be count the number of atoms on both the sides. That is, count the number of atoms in the reactant side and then count the number of atoms in your product side. This is your first step. Clear? This is your step number 1. So just mention here step 1. Write element, then write reactant side, and then write product side. Clear? So element is your first element is copper. Clear? First element is copper, then is hydrogen, then is sulfur, and then is oxygen. See, in given reaction there are all total 4 elements. One is copper, one is hydrogen, another one is sulfur, and another one is oxygen. These 4 elements are involved in this reaction. So count the number of atoms first from reactant side. So in reactant side there are only 1 copper, so write 1. There are only 1 copper. Clear? Or you can write 1 atom. Clear? Count the number of hydrogen. 2 hydrogens are present on the reactant side, so write there are 2 atoms. Now sulfur only 1, therefore sulfur is 1 atom. Oxygen there are 4, that is oxygen 4 atoms. Clear? So we have counted the element, the number of atoms from the reactant side. Clear? Now go to the product side. In product side there are also 1 copper atom. Clear? So just write 1 sulfur atom, 1 copper atom. Now hydrogen. Now count the number of hydrogen. 2 atoms. There are 2 atoms of hydrogen on the product side, so write 2 atoms. Clear? Now sulfur. Count the number of sulfur atom on the product side. So there is 1 sulfur, and here is 1 sulfur, 2 sulfur, 1 sulfur, 1 sulfur, 2 sulfur. Therefore 2 atoms. Now last oxygen. Oxygen, here is 4 oxygens, 6 oxygens, and here is 1. That means 7. That means 7 atoms. Clear? So this is your first step. That is step number 1, counting the number of atoms from the reactant side and counting the number of atoms in your product side. Now step 2 is just look at carefully the oxygen, the copper atom on the reactant side and the product side is same. Therefore copper atom need not be balanced. Copper atom is same because in the reactant side there is 1 copper atom and the product side there is also 1 copper atom. So copper atom is same, that means copper need not be balanced. Clear? Now hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. Sulfur and oxygen are different. In case of hydrogen hydrogen also, in the reactant side there are 2 atoms, and the product side there are also 2 atoms. That means copper and hydrogen need not be balanced because both are same in the reactant side and product side. Therefore copper and hydrogen need not be balanced. We will balance the sulfur and oxygen atom only. Clear? So just see, the reaction is your copper plus H2SO4. Clear? So just write the equation, write this equation again. Write the equation again in your step number 2. Clear? Write the equation again. Copper plus H2SO4, copper sulfate plus SO2 plus H2. Clear? Now see, there are 2 atoms. There are 2 atoms, hydrogen, and their product there is also 2 atoms. Coming to sulfur, sulfur is only 1 atom. Sulfur in the reactant side only 1 atom, and the product side has 2 atoms. Sulfur in the reactant side has 1 atom, and the product side has 2 atoms. That means sulfur is not balanced. Therefore just sulfur here is 1 atom, and sulfur 1 and 1 2 atoms. That means just put 2 here. If you put 2 here, that means sulfur will be 2 atoms, because sulfur here is previously there is 1 atom sulfur. If you put 2 here, that means sulfur is now balanced. Sulfur 2 atoms, and here sulfur only 2 atoms. That means sulfur is balanced. Clear? But now hydrogen number, count the number of hydrogen atoms. Now the hydrogen is not 2, hydrogen is your 4, because 2H2 means there are 2 2s are 4 hydrogen atoms. Now it is hydrogen atoms is your 4 on the reactant side, because 2 2s are 4. That means 4 hydrogen atoms. Now you have 4 hydrogen atoms on the reactant side. Now count the number of hydrogen atoms in your product side. There is 2 only. Therefore 2 hydrogen atoms is short. So write 2 over here. Now also hydrogen atoms are 4 on the product side. Therefore hydrogens are balanced. Sulfur are balanced. Now count the number of oxygen atoms. Oxygens are 4 and 2. That means 8 oxygen atoms, because there are 4 oxygen atoms and here is 2 here. That means 4 into 2, 8. That means 8 oxygen atoms are in the reactant side. Count the number of atoms in product side. 4 2s are 6, 6 1s are 7. Therefore 1 oxygen atom is short. 1 oxygen atom is short. Therefore oxygen need to be balanced. Oxygen you need to be balanced. Now count the number of oxygen atom again. Oxygen here, oxygen is 4, 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8. Count the number of oxygen atom here. 4 2s are 6, 6 2s are. Oxygen is already balanced, because count the number of oxygen atoms. There are 4 oxygen atoms. There are 2, 4 2s are 6, and already 2 oxygen atom over here, 2O. That is 2 oxygen atom here, 2O. Here is 2 here, so 2O, 2 oxygen atoms. 2 2s are 4, 4 4s are 8. Therefore oxygen atom is balanced. Now coming to copper atom, copper is 1 here and copper is 1 here. So all the elements are balanced. All the elements are balanced. Clear? So this is the balanced chemical equation. Clear? So just write in step 3, just write the final step, that is, this is your balanced chemical equation. Or alternatively you can do this in your separately. You can do separately, like first you can balance 2H2SO4, then write the equation. In the next step you will balance this oxygen. I have done this in the simultaneous step. That means 2 changes in one step. You can do it simultaneously, or you can write just copper plus 2H2SO4, that is copper sulfate plus SO2 plus H2. So in this step I have just balanced only hydrogen, that is 2H2. That means in this step we have just balanced sulfur, that is 2 sulfur, and here is also 1 and 1 2 sulfur. Clear? In the next step I will balance oxygen and hydrogen, or you can do this in simultaneous. Clear? So what is your step number 3? Step number 3, just write down the second step as it is. Copper plus 2H2SO4 arrow, copper sulfate plus SO2 plus H2O. Now hydrogen there is 4, so we have to write 2 over here, so that 4 hydrogen atoms are balanced, and oxygen is 2 4s are 8, 4 2s are 6, 2s are 8. Therefore oxygen is already balanced. So in the second step I have balanced the number of sulfur atoms, and in this step we have balanced the number of hydrogen atoms as well as oxygen atoms. Or you can do this step in simultaneous, in one step. Clear? So this is your final balanced equation. So you will write, therefore you will write here the given balanced equation the given balanced equation is you can write therefore the balanced equation is, you can write the balanced equation is Cu plus 2H2SO4 CuSO4 plus SO2 plus 2H2. So this is your balanced equation. You can write like this. The balanced equation is just write Cu plus 2H2SO4 arrow CuSO4 plus SO2 plus 2H2. Clear? So in this way we will balance the given chemical equation. Let's take another example. So you will clear the concept. There are so many examples in your book. Just try to solve those by this method, and also in exercise there are numerous given chemical equation. You have to balance those chemical equations in to balanced equation. There are numerous exercise questions. Clear? So let's take another example. Suppose the given equation is Fe plus H2O. Fe plus H2O, this will be Fe2O3 plus H2. Fe2O3 plus H2. So what is the first step? First step is to write element, reactant side and product side, and count the number of atoms from each side. That will be your first step. So step 1 is your element, reactant side, and product side. Clear? So the elements are first iron, hydrogen and oxygen. So all total 3 elements are present. Iron, hydrogen and oxygen. Now count the number of atoms from reactant side. There are 1 Fe, that is 1 atom. The reactant side Fe. Hydrogen is 2. From the reactant side there is 2 atoms. Oxygen is also 1. That is 1 atom of oxygen. The reactant side. Now moving towards the product side. In product side there are 2 Fe, that means 2 atoms. Hydrogen is also 2, that is 2 atoms. And oxygen is 3, that is 3 atoms. Clear? So this is the number of atoms. We have just classified number of atoms from the reactant side and product side. And the step number 2 is to balance the equation. That is, just write the above equation in step number 2. Just write the above equation as it is in step number 2. Now try to balance the equation. Now the Fe, that is hydrogen. Now hydrogen reactant side there are 2 atoms, and product side there is also 2 atoms. That means hydrogen is already balanced. We need not to balance hydrogen anymore. Clear? So Fe and oxygen, there are difference. Clear? So we will balance Fe and oxygen first. So count the number of Fe. Now look at this. In the reactant side there is 1 Fe, and in the product side there are 2 Fes. Clear? So write 2 here so that Fes are equal, irons are equal. Now in reactant side there are 2 Fe, and in the product side there is also 2 Fe. Clear? So this is the way to balance. Now this is your step number 2. Now Fe is balanced. Clear? So Fe is balanced, so now oxygen is to be balanced. So we will do this in your step number 3. So just point step 3 and write the equation of step 2. 2Fe plus H2, Fe2O3 plus H2. Clear? So Fe is already balanced. Now we have to balance oxygen. Now in the reactant side there is 1 oxygen atom, and the product side there are 3 oxygen atom. Clear? In the reactant side there is 1 oxygen atom, and the product side there are 3 oxygen atom. So write just 3 over here. So that there are 3 oxygen atoms in the reactant side, and also the product side there is also 3 oxygen atoms. So oxygen is balanced, but whenever you put 3 over here, the number of hydrogen atoms should change. Whenever you put 3 over here to balance oxygen atom, oxygen will be balanced, but hydrogen atoms will differ. Now count the number of hydrogen atoms. There are all total 3 2s are 6 hydrogen atoms from the left side, and count the number of hydrogen in the product side, only 2. That means just write 3 also here so that hydrogen atom is balanced. So now hydrogen is also 3 2s are 6, and there hydrogen is also 3 2s are 6. Hydrogen is already balanced, because hydrogen was previously balanced. But hydrogen was previously balanced. We don't need to balance hydrogen. But whenever you write 3 over here to balance oxygen, the number of hydrogen atom gets changed. Therefore, we need to balance. Clear? So now finally count each atoms. There are 2 Fe. Here is also 2 Fe. Here is 3 2s are 6 hydrogen atoms. Here is also 3 2s are 6 hydrogen atoms. Here are 3 oxygen atoms. Here is also 3 oxygen atoms. So already each atoms are balanced. Each elements are balanced. So this is your final balanced chemical equation. So you will write, this is balanced equation. This is balanced equation. Clear? So this is in this way we will solve these questions. So final equation is your 2Fe plus 3H2O arrow Fe2O3 plus 3H2. Clear? So in this way we will solve the balanced equation. Just go through the book. There are some examples how to balance chemical equation, and also there are numerous balance questions given in your exercise book. So just try to solve this and you will know better. So the next topic is what is, if question is asked, what is the limitation of chemical equation? The question is what is the limitation of chemical equation? There is some limitation of chemical equation. Now what is the limitation of chemical equation? What is the limitation of chemical equation? First limitation is the physical state of the reactant and the products, that is whether the substances is solid or liquid or gas. We do not know this from the chemical equation. From chemical equation we do not know the physical state of the substance, that is whether the substances are solid, whether the substances are liquid, or whether it is gas. We don't know any information from the chemical equation. So it is the limitation. It is one type of limitation. Second limitation is your the time taken for the completion of the reaction. The time. Next question will be from your exercise 1B. Clear? And the question number is your number 1 question. The question says what is a chemical equation and why is it necessary to balance it? So I have already told that what is a chemical equation. A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction using the symbols and formula of the substances involved in the reaction. So that is the chemical equation. So just write that definition. The next question says why is it necessary to balance it? Why it is necessary to balance it? Why a chemical equation is to be balanced? The reason is to comply the law of conservation of law. The reason is law of conservation of matter. This is a law. To satisfy this law, that is law of conservation of matter, the chemical equation must be balanced. What is this law? Law of conservation of matter. Law of conservation of matter states that the matter is neither created nor destroyed. You cannot create a matter or you cannot destroy a matter in a chemical reaction. Clear? You cannot create a matter or you cannot destroy a matter in a chemical reaction. This is the law of conservation of matter. Every matter should be conserved. You cannot create a matter, you cannot destroy a matter. To satisfy this law, chemical reaction or chemical equation must be balanced. Clear? So that will be your answer. So this is question number 1. Next, in question 5, see, there are numerous chemical equations given. You have to balance those chemical equations. Clear? Just try to balance those equations in your copy and show me, or you can WhatsApp me. I will check those, and those equations that you cannot do, I will help you in solving those equations. So just try to solve those equations first, then I will help you how to solve. Next question is from your exercise 1C. Next question is from your exercise 1C, page number 19. Page number 19, just question number 3. Page number 19, question number 3, just read the questions. This question is from your exercise 1C. Just read the questions. Question number 3, sodium chloride reacts with silver nitrate to produce silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Sodium chloride reacts with sodium nitrate to produce silver chloride and sodium nitrate. We have to write the equation. Clear? So sodium chloride reacts with silver nitrate. Clear? That means sodium chloride and silver nitrate is the reactant. So what is the formula of sodium chloride? This is the formula of sodium chloride and this is the formula of silver nitrate. So these are the reactants. Sodium chloride reacts with sodium chloride reacts with silver nitrate and produces silver chloride. So what are the products? Silver chloride. So this is the formula of silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So what is the formula of sodium nitrate? This is the formula of sodium nitrate. Clear? So these two are the reactants and these two are the products. Clear? Now question B says check whether it is balanced. If not, balance it. So we have to check whether it is balanced or not. If it is balanced, then it's okay, and if it is not balanced, we have to balance the chemical equation. So to balance the chemical equation, just first count the number of atoms from reactant side and the product side. So there is only one sodium atom. Here is also one sodium atom. Sodium is balanced. One chlorine atom over here. One chlorine atom is here, so chlorine is balanced. One silver atom, also one silver atom. Silver is balanced. Nitrogen, one nitrogen here. One nitrogen here, so nitrogen is balanced. Now 3 oxygens here, 3 oxygens here. So oxygen atom is already balanced. Therefore, this equation is already balanced. This equation is already balanced. So write in question B, this question A, the equation is already balanced. Just write the equation is already balanced. Next question C. Find the weights of reactants and products. We have to find the weight of the reactants and the products. We have to find the weight of the reactants and the products. Now, as the equation is balanced, the weight of the reactants and the weight of the products both will be same. Why? Because the equation is already balanced equation. Therefore, the weight of the reactant side and the weight of the product side will be equal. Clear? So write the equation again. NaCl plus AgNO3, that is your AgCl plus NaNO3. So we have to find out the weight of the reactants and the products. So sodium, the weight of sodium is 23. Weight means molecular weight. Just recall the session 2, the previous session. There is I have told you to study all the atomic number and atomic weight of the compounds given in your exercise book in the tabular chart form. Just go through all the atomic weight of compound, element or atomic number, and then you will do this type of question. So weight of sodium, molecular weight is 23 and molecular weight of chlorine is your 35.5. Clear? Plus Ag, silver is 108 and nitrogen is your 14 and oxygen is 16. Oxygen is 16, but therefore 3 oxygen, that means 3 into 16, it is 48. Clear? Now write AgCl. Ag is 108, Cl is 35.5 plus sodium is 23, nitrogen is 14 plus oxygen is 16 and 3 oxygen, that means 48. Clear? Now just do, it is 58.5, 23 plus 35, that is 45.5, this is 58.5 plus this is your 108, that is 122 are 48, this is 170. Clear? Now 108 and 35 gives you 143.5 plus this is 23 and 14, 37 and 48, right, this is 85. Clear? Now add these two. This is your, this will just put equal sign over here. Clear? Now 58.5 plus 170, 175, 220, 228.5, this is 228.5 equals to, this will be your 143, 5 3s are 8, 8 4s are 12, carry 1 does 2, 228.5. Now see, both the weight of both reactants and products are equal. Clear? So the weight of the reactants and products are same. You have to write here, that is the weight of the reactants and the weight of the products are same. Clear? Next question D. State the law that this equation satisfies. So what is the law? The law will be law of conservation of mass. Clear? The law is, just write in D, law of conservation of mass. This law is satisfied by the equation. Hence the weight is balanced. As the law, that is law of conservation of mass, is satisfied by the equation, therefore the weight of both the reactants and weight of both the products is balanced. It means you cannot create a molecule or cannot create an atom, or you cannot destroy any atom in the course of given chemical reaction. Clear? So this is the question. The question is complete. Exercise 1C, question 3. Next question. Next question is your question number 9. Next question is your question number 9. Question number 9 says 9B actually. Question number 9B. 9B says 9A question says define atomic mass unit. The definition of atomic mass unit, you will get this from book Atomic Mass Unit. And question B says calculate the molecular mass of the following. We have to calculate the molecular mass of the following. The first is Na2SO4 10H2O. The first is your Na2SO4 10H2O. We have to calculate the molecular mass of the following compound. Clear? So what is the molecular mass? The molecular mass of the compound is, that is, Na is 23. Na is 23. There are 2 Na. 2 Na is present. That means 2 into 23. 1 Na is 23 and there is 2 Na. That means 2 into 23. Sulfur. Sulfur is 32. Oxygen. Oxygen is 16. But there are 4 oxygens. That means 4 into 16. Clear? Plus 10 H2O. 10 H2O, that means 10 into H2O. Hydrogen is 1. Hydrogen is 1, but there are 2 hydrogens, that means 2 into 1, 2, and oxygen is 16. Clear? That is 2 into 16. Now just solve this. 2 into 23 means 46 plus 32. This is 48. This is 64. 4 into 16, 64. 46 plus 32 plus 64. Now plus 10 into 2 16s are 18. That will be 46 plus 32 plus 64. Plus 10 into 18 means 180. Clear? The unit is your gram per mole. Whenever molecular weight is to be calculated, the unit is molecular mass is to be calculated, the unit will be your gram per mole. Now just add. Therefore 180 plus 64, that means 180 and 60 are 240, 244. 244 and 30 is your 274, and 276, 276 and 46. 322. So his answer will be your 322. 322 gram per mole. Clear? 322 gram per mole will be your answer. But the answer given in the next page, that is page number 20. The answer given in the page number 20, answer is your 332. This is wrong. Clear? Don't confuse. In the next page, the answer of these questions are given. The answer given as 332, but 332 is wrong. Answer will be your 322. Clear? So 322 gram per mole will be your answer. Clear? So these are the questions I have discussed in this chapter. The chapter is complete. The remaining questions you will do in homework. Clear? And if you stuck in any problem, just post these questions in WhatsApp, or you can call me. I will try to solve those questions for you. Clear? Thank you.